Welcome to the Float Racing Money Audio Commentary. This is Owen Tracy recording, and it's 3:44 p.m. that is Central Time. Today is December 15th, so only a couple of weeks left in the year, and we're certainly seeing a really impressive Santa Claus rally going on right now. And it does beg the question, what can we expect from the first week of January? But certainly there's been a rebound in the bond market. So I'm looking here at the total return if one were to have invested in 10-year futures and then rolled forward those futures every single time since the genesis of the index in 1982, then you were provided with an incredible return all the way through until 2020. Then we had a massive reaction against the prevailing trend, and then subsequently it has encountered resistance in the region of the 200-day moving average on successive occasions, and now it's trading back above it and closing in again on the region of that 1,000-day moving average. Something that we've seen on several occasions over the years is that eventually, when a trend is completely taken for granted, then it does tend to accelerate. That people never think about the downside, instead only think about how quickly they are going to make money. And certainly also then you get the fear of missing out, that you have to buy now because if you don't, you'll be completely left behind. Look at all the people who've already made a ton of money. And that, of course, is what happened in 2018 and 19. This trend accelerated after a ranging phase where it was starting to look like it might have peaked. So we'd had a loss of momentum, and that was a bit of a trend inconsistency, and it was very briefly trading below the 1,000-day moving average in 2018 and 19, and it had never done that before. So that was a trend inconsistency. But something that we often see at the peak of a major trend is that the trend will lose consistency at the penultimate high. Well, it just happened to be that that was exactly what happened. And by the time we got up to the peak in 2020, we'd had a meaningful advance. Going from around 2,000 to 2,500 for bonds is a big move, considering that to get from 1,500 to 2,000 took about 5 years. And between the end of 2018 and the middle of 2020, it did the same thing. So there was a very significant acceleration. Then we've had a meaningful pullback. Now, just anyone looking at a chart and putting aside any kind of argument about what the macro implies, this looks like a broken trend. And then the really only question is, are we going to go into a lengthy period of right-hand extension, or is it going to come straight back down? Or alternatively, is it going to come down slowly? Is it going to take the same amount of time as it did to go up to come back down again? But one way or another, it does look like the bull market in bonds is over. So if the bull market in bonds is over, then what it does imply is that this lengthy period of time where we have been treated to an absence of worry around the cost of borrowing is over. We are now going to have to worry about what does it cost to borrow money, and is the use to which it is put productive. And I think that question alone is enough to change how people think about investing over the long term, because it has basically reintroduced the discount rate as the hurdle. We went through a long time, almost 15 years, where there just wasn't a discount rate, and that helped to promote a phenomenal bull market in technology, and most particularly in those companies that could leverage access to free cash, and then also those that were benefiting from the technology trend that really sparked it all, which was the twin evolution of both 4G and mobile communications. So the largest companies in the world today are Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon. And if you think about what is the unifying characteristic of all those companies, well, one of the most clear is that you can either access their services on the phone or they're manufacturing the phones. And selling apps on phones or benefiting from 4G more inadvertently, or I guess obtusely, but certainly the twinning of mobile technology with 4G was a profound change over the last decade. And it does beg the question, what's going to really focus the attention of investors in the next decade?